In a lot of RV groups that we're a part of, people are starting to say that the pandemic has really made RVing difficult. We've experienced some of this ourselves, but has it really affected the market? Has it really affected the RV world, or is it all just hype and gossip? Tonight, we're going to dive into the numbers to find out the answer.
Welcome back to No Ordinary Path, everybody. I'm John. This is my beautiful wife, Kristen. And we are a travel nurse family. I'm the travel nurse. We go around the country taking contracts in our trailer that we've called Windy. We've got our 3 kids and our doggos. Right now, we're actually boondocking. So if you hear the generator running in the background, it's because we are on our way back from Florida.
We don't want to melt into a puddle of sweat.
We don't want to, yes, exactly. We've been doing this for 2.5 years now, and it has been quite the adventure. In fact, even more so because we've had the fun opportunity to get to do this smack dab in the middle of a global pandemic. And we have clearly noticed some changes, but we'll save that for later. For now, we want to break it down into 3 main questions.
The first question is, what are RV sales and productions doing in 2020?
So the global pandemic may have slowed the production and sales of RVs initially, but as more and more people figured out that it was a great vacation option and maybe even a viable living option, then the sales really skyrocketed.
Yeah. According to the RV Industry Association, July was the highest recorded production of RVs in the last 4 decades, which is kind of crazy. I'm going to read the number because I won't remember it. In July of 2020, it was 43,035 RVs were produced, and in July of 2019, there's only 28,044 RVs produced, and this includes the towables and motorhomes. But it was a huge increase.
Yeah, which was just great. I mean, for the RV sales market, right? There's plenty of stuff out there to look for, but the question is are they actually selling them?
Well, if the stock market is any indication, then there are a few companies that are just doing exceptionally well and have seen crazy growth. 3 of them that we researched, Thor and Jayco Holding Company and Camping World, have increased by over triple digits. Perhaps the most astonishing one was Camping World. Since March of 2020, their stock price has increased by 580%.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. Now, Camping World obviously is not only RV sales, but that's where most of their money comes from. But also, it's a lot of RV accessories and those kinds of sales too, which are also going up.
It's all related.
Everything's going up.
It's all related. One thing that I really found interesting while we were looking through the numbers is who exactly is it that's buying all of these? It's actually millennials between the ages of 18 and 35.
Just
34.
On the outskirts of.
Just on the outskirts. It just made it. It's just not the millennials.
We're not quite millennials.
We're not going to joke about millennials.
No.
We're not going to go there.
We love you.
Yes, keep buying the RVs. Keep watching our channel. Okay, on that same note, it's interesting because, why are they so interested in it? There's been lots of different research on the millennial generation and how they're changing things, and they're actively affecting the way that RV life is going right now. One thing that we read was that the millennial generation is definitely more interested in collecting memories and experiences and not so much stuff as they go about their travels.
Yeah, you could see this in the tiny house movement and van life.
Yeah, the hashtags, right?
Yes, yeah. So if you go on to Instagram, it's very interesting to check out hashtag RV life, and you can see over 1.6 million posts with the hashtag RV life, which is a ton. But then if you check out hashtag van life, you'll find over 8 million posts. And the millennials are largely driving that.
Yep.
I made a pun.
Hot digging it down. A lot of RV companies are seeing a major increase in their online sales, and what that means is that this generation specifically, where they're seeing this increase in production and sales, are buying, 58% are open to virtual shopping, meaning they're buying sight unseen, which really helps, the dealerships and things like that with their sales.
This is not to say that millennials are the only ones out there in the RVs. It's just that the people that are coming into RVing now are mostly 18 to 35 years old. And I think the pandemic is actually spurring
Well, of
that.
course, I mean, the pandemic is feeding all of this as well, as people are looking for new and viable ways to live, maybe frugally, a little bit differently than their parents did or stuff like that.
Moving on to the second question, are there more people interested in camping in 2020?
So camping is trending, I mean, because, again, of the pandemic. This is an easy way. There's this huge push to get outside, but also get away from people, right? So camping is a great option for people to do that.
And to live frugally, too, because big, expensive vacations aren't happening for people who lost their jobs or their businesses right now.
Absolutely. Approximately, what is it, like 46 million Americans are planning on taking an RV trip, like, within the next 12 months.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. A Thor Industry article says that approximately 79% of current RVers are planning to either RV as much this year or more than they did in 2019. Add to that, 47% of leisure travelers will replace their canceled vacation plans with camping instead.
Yeah. It'll save money too.
Speaking of saving money,
Yeah.
gas prices are at a 12-year low for the month of July, at least.
It doesn't feel like that.
It doesn't always feel like that,
It
but
doesn't always
the
feel like
prices are definitely lower now.
Yeah.
And thanks to COVID, people are more afraid to travel by air because of germs.
According to that JACO article, it said that like 68% feel more comfortable traveling in a vehicle on the road than they do flying.
Yeah. Which makes RVing and bringing your own hotel
Your ticket.
pretty appealing, with all of these sales and the production increasing and the number of people on the road increasing and the current RVers staying on the road. Where does that put the RV parks? Are they actually overcrowding? We're hearing this a lot on Facebook, where people are trying to book and things are filling up really fast, especially with discount clubs and things like that, where there are limited spaces. Those reservations, they're having to be made like really far in advance just to get a spot guaranteed for them. We've experienced this in Asheville when we were trying to find an RV park for us and for my folks.
back and forth between what wasn't I mean, yeah.
We stayed in Cherokee partly because we wanted to experience the Smoky Mountains, of course, while my parents were here. But one of the reasons was because we tried to find an RV park where we could fit both us and our parents in, and nothing was available at all. You know, we were like, "C'est la vie, we're going to the Smokies. Sorry, John, you have to commute."
I mean, that's our experience. We're interested in seeing what, has been going on for you guys. So let us know if you're experiencing this kind of stuff in the comments as well.
Yeah, this actually leads us into our last question to answer before we get to the main question.
How has it affected those of us that live and do this full time?
To get it out there are 10 million RVers currently in the United States.
Yeah.
10 million. And this is a statistic that we found from the RV Industry Association page, which is a fantastic resource.
Not full time, but just that RV.
Right. The whole circle. 10 million. Of that 10 million, 7 million of them are what we call recreational.
Those are your weekenders. Those are your weekend
weekenders.
warriors.
Yeah.
Right?
And then 2 million are almost full-time, meaning they are seasonal.
Those are your snowbirds.
Yes.
That's what we call, like, those are your, like, seasonal snowbirds, right?
Yes. And 1 million, a full 1 million, are full-time living in their RVs.
I would have never guessed it was that many.
So let's talk about, like, campers. And I'm not talking about, like, campers that you live in. I'm talking about people who go camping in an RV, campers. Okay, so according to a KOA article that I was reading about camping post-COVID-19, it said that 4 in 10 campers are considering going full-time now. And the really astounding statistic is that 1 in 10 non-camper leisurely travelers are considering going full-time.
Or at least find it interesting.
This means that people who have no prior interest or no prior experience in RVing are considering
2 feet, guys. You just jump right in.
That was us. Or considering getting out on the road full time. And a lot of this is, due to the pandemic just pushing people out and making it a perfect opportunity to do that.
You can get away. You can get away from the city. You can get away from the suburbs.
Okay, so how's it affecting us full-timers? Well, we kind of touched on it already. It's causing overcrowding, which makes it difficult to be as flippant and free as we would like to be. It makes it a lot harder to do that because things are booking up way far in advance. And
it's not only like campsites or parks. It's boondocking spots even.
Yeah, which is something that we love to do. And there's a lot of people out there that, like us, want to get away from it all and want to experience like solitude, which is getting harder and harder to find.
Yeah, especially on the East Coast and the east side of the United States.
Some of the BLM and public lands that are out there and available have been closing down because they haven't been taken good care of. And then the pandemic hit and a lot of them shut down for safety reasons. And while some of them are opening back up, some of them have not yet. So the boondocking is a little bit more limited.
It's still not a bad gig. If this is something you were looking into doing, it's still not a bad gig. Don't let this kind of stuff hold you back from doing it.
Exactly, because coming back to the original question, is it all hype? No, it's not really all hype because
we've seen it.
Everything is getting overcrowded, and the statistics and the numbers show that the sales are up, the production is up, the people actually buying them and getting out there, everything is up. Everything is up. So yes, it is true, it is increasing, but I do not believe it is a bad time to get out there. It's just that you're going to have more challenges than we did when we started. And I really don't, my personal thought is that I don't feel like this is going to be the case for a long time. I feel like after it's going to plateau, it's going to settle down after we get back to normal life, whatever that is. I have a feeling that there's going to be an influx of sales in used RVs. So maybe if you're holding out for another year, you might get a fantastic deal.
You might. That's a great point, actually. That really is a great point.
Yeah.
Anyway, that pretty much wraps it up, you guys. We hope you found it informative for our Real Talk Tuesday, which is where we bring you kind of tips and tricks and things like this that we're learning along the road. Again, thank you for being here. If you're brand new, leave a comment below. Let us know. We love to welcome new people. Hit that button.
We'll
thumbs
see
up.
Out there.
And we'll see you out there.
I've lost my place. I have no idea where we are.
Right here. Hey, you old.
You older.
47% of leisurely travels that have been 47% of leisure travelers. 40% of leisure 47% of leisure travelers will who says leisure travelers?
I don't like that.
Just introing you.
Oh, you were introing to my intro. Okay. I'm introing into the next question there in that paragraph.
Oh. I'm not very good. I am really, guys. Look there, right there.